That's why we're taking it from the back and just to ensure that before you guys start with the program, you have at least a good understanding of JavaScript. So also you guys interacting during the sessions also helps us see who is interacting well and having a good understanding. Josie, if you don't mind, please sharing your screen and so that we can begin while I still read the comment sections. Will there be a second interview? No, because the program is starting next week, Tuesday. But yeah, after every session, I practice to see what I understand. Today is the final session, and next week we'll start with the real program. Are you guy ready or what? I don't understand. Mm. I learned how to use if-else statements, create decision-making logic in the program. Okay, that's great. Trend rising. There's a huge interaction. The results are very helpful. Okay, that's great. Boost of the FNP app of the year, going over what we covered. Hmm. Can we have access to reply to everyone in the chat? Okay. Vukona, you raised your hand?
Morning everyone. Yes, thank you. I just wanted to make note of this. So essentially, we had scheduled 3 sessions for this week, but it looks like our final session might not be today, but instead tomorrow. So there'll still be an update, but we're going to have another session because we saw that there might be a bit more gaps than we actually expected, and that's why we've actually been going over the 3 hour time frame that was set for the sessions. So to minimize the hours for today, we might extend to another session. So you guys just be on the lookout if you're going to get any invitation for tomorrow. Thank you, Caesar.
Lucy, are you ready?
Yes, I am ready. Thank you, Caesar. Uh, Welcome, everyone, and good morning. It feels good to come together for the purposes of co-creating, is it not? So far in our sessions, we have covered variables, glucana, and functions. We also touched on arrays for us. And then yesterday we did conditional statements, and we also worked with some fun comparison operators, logic operators. And now we will see how we can combine these tools to make bigger, better tools that we can work with. Today we're going to be entering the magical world of objects and classes. And then we will wrap up, as Vukana suggested, our final session with loops, because we're going to be looping through these data structures that we are going to be covered. We've covered with Vukana, and we're going to be covering at length today. In JavaScript, think of objects like real life things, a car, a person, a phone, or a cat. Each object has its own features. Let's go to VS Code.
Lucy, can I say something
Of
before
course,
we start? Um, everyone has access to the Q&A, right? Okay. Hopefully they do. So if you guys have questions while Josie is still busy, please make use of the Q&A and the panelists will answer some of the questions, and if they're unable to, then Josie will have to stop you and you'll have to address some of those issues.
okay.
Additionally, um, you guys obviously feel free to help each other out in the Q&A or in the comment section. If somebody has an issue, feel free to answer that issue. And if not, we will take it from there. But you guys are recommended to engage as much as possible. Also, this enhances some of your understanding as well when you teach it to the next guys. Rosie, thanks.
Thank you, Caesar. So as I was saying, we're going to be working with objects and classes today. I wanted to open here. But before that, let's quickly, can you guys see my screen, my VS Code? I can't tell.
Yes, we
So,
can see it.
okay, proper. Can you see my browser?
Yes.
All right, proper. Okay, so as you guys know, Vukona and I are working on the same repo. As you can see down here, we're contributors, him and I. So just before I start my code again, maybe Vukona pushed some things during the night or whatever. I just want to quickly do a git pull. All right, already up to date. Okay, everything I have here is the same as what's on Git. So now I want to get started. So as I said, we're going to be exploring some objects. So we did variables, we did arrays, we did some functions, we did some conditional statements, and we played around with comparison operators. And now we're just gonna bring it all together into like a thing. Like we're gonna build like a life form type of situation that has all these great things that it can do that can make our lives simpler. Yes, it's like bring all your tools to under same structures but different details. So now you have the same tool but like in a different flavors. So that's how like classes can help us. They're like a blueprint. Classes like a blueprint makes similar objects like a recipe for cookies. You can use the same recipe to make many cookies. Each one just slightly bit different toppings and things like that. With JavaScript, we can use classes to build not just virtual things, but real parts of websites like buttons and graphs, paragraphs and images. And today we're going to try to create those things together. Um, in JavaScript, objects are king. Okay, let's do this. So we have app. I'm going to change app again. So this is where we covered variables with Vukona. Let's do this. Let's rename app to variables. All right. And then yesterday with me, we were doing conditional statements. Let's change this to be more descriptive and call it conditionals. All right, cool. So I want us to play in a different playground, less cluttered. So you can refer to it. We're going to call I want to save a main file into the current file you add, just to keep things modular and easy to maintain, easy to read, especially things that you're going to be reusing as we go along. We'll do some of that. So let's call it main for now. All right. So I just want to check here. Okay, we're still connected. All right, awesome. So let's do this. In JavaScript, objects are king. Right. If you understand objects, you understand JavaScript. Objects are containers. Containers. Okay, guys, I'm like typing, I'm not even looking at objects. containers. 4. I'm even going to do this. They have properties and they have methods, which are just functions stored as properties. Did I not misspell anything? Okay. Properties are like the primitive values and functions, or even other objects of objects. Like they make up what the object is. In JavaScript, almost everything is an object. Objects are objects. Math, that math class is an object. Functions are objects. Dates are objects. Arrays are objects. Maps are objects. Sets are objects. You get objects, you get JavaScript. Oh, except obviously like the primitive like literals, like a string literal is a string literal. Um, Numbers and booleans, nums, undefined. Those, remember those data types Fukona was touching on? So those ones are like the primitive ones. You cannot, they have no specific, they have no properties. They're immutable. So they're primitive data types, like you can't change them. Some of them do have properties, but okay, it's the immutability, they stay the same. So with objects, you can change their properties and they're malleable. You can like do stuff with them. Okay, so let's create an object so we're on the same page. Okay, let's say I was working on a database and of people and I have their details. So I want to just store one person's details so I can have access to it, so I can do something with it. So I'm gonna use const because I just wanna like keep it the same, but usually use const when you define an object, even though you can't technically change it. I know we said like you can't change with const, but we'll see. Let me show you. Person. So a person has properties, right? You can have first name, right? You can have a surname. He's there. You can have an age. Mm, You can have height. Height, let's say height in meters. You know, descriptive, short, yet descriptive. And also, like if I just said 1.74, we don't know which metric this is. So this helps. We know it's a height. We know that it's in meters. You know, descriptive. Okay, so this is our object. It's one thing, it's encapsulating all this data for us. And we can simply access any of the stuff with just using the dot notation. We like person. Okay, you know, I like to have a description. This is what we're about to is person dot. Let's see. Okay, let's see how this goes. Hold your thumbs. All right. Can you see that? Is Caesar? Can you guys see that? Let me see if I can should change to maybe a dash.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Uh, but you can also add, obviously, as I said, functions. Let's call it greeting. Okay. And obviously, we have to call the function. So see how this goes down. Ooh. See, what am I missing? Can you guys see what I'm missing? Save. Still, okay, that's weird. This is where am I missing something? Able.
Somebody raised their hand. Sandile Ndlovu.
Uh-huh.
Sandile, you can go. Sandile.
Hello,
Hi.
can you guys? Oh, sorry. So in line 20, when you called the function, you
Yes.
didn't put the brackets at the end. Yeah,
It's what? The brackets. I already took them away.
yeah. You took them away.
Yes, I took them away.
Um, let's see. Try to put a semicolon on after the return in line 14.
Okay.
Oh no, not 18. Line
Cool.
14.
I can't put it there. Put it here. All right.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. I'm not
It has
sure.
to, the problem has to do with this.
Let's try Ronald.
Okay.
The problem,
Morning, everyone. How are you?
yes. Hi, Ronald.
Yeah, I think you need to console log because now you're printing only the name on line 18. You're printing the
Yes.
person, not first name.
Yes.
You're not printing the return there, so you need to log it.
All right. Can you
Yeah.
can you tell me exactly what must I type?
Just type console.log, then put person.greet inside.
There we go.
Greeting, yeah.
Yeah. Now let's see. Sunny Bonani.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Mhm. Thank you so much. This only would have worked had I here did a console loglets. Okay, let's take it back to the way it was so that we can learn from this example. Okay. All right. Can we do one more object? Okay, so you might be tempted, right? So this is so useful. So now you want to make like more of them. So you could be tempted to do something like, I don't know, const simply equals person. But what you'll find is that when you're doing this isn't a copy. You created another handle on this variable, on this object. Like, let's see. I want to show you this. Let's start with, so there's a distinction. It's mandla. It's is mandla. If you underneath the Zintle, there's mandla. It's just mandla. You basically have created two ways of, sorry, this, let's see. Mandla. It's just mandla. You've created two ways of accessing mandla. You can access mandla through person, you can access mandla through Zintle. You've just made a copy. What you want to do is create other copies. But first, before we create other copies, let's play a little game. Can you guys, when I give you a const, remember the robot from yesterday? Can you guys give me some properties that a robot could have? Yes, Karabo?
Good day. So the robot is going to have the property is going to be color and an action.
Tala.
Yeah, it's color and an action. Color and action.
Okay, let's start. Okay, with color.
So color
Um,
has a string.
okay,
So
we'll say red.
yes, then
Okay, then action.
action. Yeah.
Okay. All right, and we'll say stop.
So meaning that it must be kind of an array or an object. For colors, it must be an array. It says
Okay.
red, yellow, and green. Then for the action, it must also be an array that says stop, go, and uh, yeah, stop, go, slow down.
Uh, Go.
And there must also be a function that is going to determine the action in terms of the color.
Aha. Okay.
So inside that, yo. So yeah,
It's okay.
inside
Do you want to give it?
uh
Do you want to give somebody else a chance?
man,
Um, Ronald wants to also help you out.
okay, I know, no problem. You can come in.
Come in, Ronald.
Okay, for me, I'll rearrange that object so I wouldn't work with it like that. Uh,
Okay.
yeah, so instead of creating object for that robot, I'll put it inside a list. So you're gonna say const robot then equals to list. Then inside the list, we're gonna put the array objects, which will
You're
carry
gonna
that information.
you're gonna put the array of what? The colors.
The colors with the action together, not separating them like that. So it will be an object that has red and action, which will be stop. Then we'll have green action will be go, and orange will be slow down. So I'll
Ah,
remove that. Sorry.
okay.
Yeah.
I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. Let's do this. Let's do this.
Like, can I give it a try?
Let's do this. To actually show the tediousness of having to do copy many. Let's do this. Let's do this. Okay. Action stop. Okay. Do action. Let's do this. Do action.
Return this action when um no the action must be determined. Oh. Okay.
No. We're not. Yes. I completely agree with you.
No,
I
nice.
wanna show this thing in our lesson. Okay. So let's talk about quickly this is such a important. So this keyword, ne, it's talking about the object itself. It's like saying me. So return return my action. So when I say this, I'm talking about this very. So when you see it, it's like a self-reference. I'm talking about myself. So return my action. All right, let's see if it's gonna work out the way we imagine it to work out. It's always fun when programs do weird things. Errors are your best teachers, honestly. Okay, so we're going to, okay, help me call it. How would I call this function? How would I call to action?
Okay. Am I
You
still
wanna
here?
call? Mm.
Okay, Garabo?
So you wanna call what do action
Yes.
function.
Yeah.
So you need to say robot dot robot dot do do action.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, then
And
you
then,
must parentheses.
okay, yeah. And then,
So this is going to return our action, which is our action as a string. Yeah, you can run it and let's see what is
all
coming
right.
out.
It says it's undefined, yo.
Yeah,
And
like I think like this type of function that does not have a this, like we have to use a regular function, like not an
Oh,
arrow function.
Aha, because it's when you're using this inside
Yeah.
a function, it's going to refer to the function above it. So now this object is in the main file. So it's in the global scope. So when I say this, the error function I now would this. Sorry, to use Zulu. The error function
As
doesn't have
well.
its own this.
Sure.
So that it's been called in above that thing. That it's the this that it refers to. So right now I'm referring to the this of the global scope of the window. And the window doesn't have an action, a dot action property. So it's undefined. Yes, you're absolutely correct. All right, so let's do a normal function and then do this. And then, do you think it's gonna work now?
Let's try it.
Yeah, let's try it. Sure.
And there we go. So now that we're in a normal function, then so now we have it, we are referring to the this that we're in. So
Sure.
stop. So now, okay, thank you guys. Okay,
Sure.
so now this is what the guys were trying to like minimize us doing. So now we have a robot that only says red. And if we wanted to, now we need, so now in this sort of backwards way of doing things, so now imagine you go to a stoplight, there's this one robot, it just has this one color. Okay, so now I need to create what? Two more robots, I guess. Okay, so now we have to do this boring thing. Robot 2, robot 3, and now tedious work of changing this. Orange. Slow down. Green. Oh. And if I want to call them, then I have to do this. See how this goes. Okay, so now I have 3 robots. And now I would have to create a function to be able to switch between calling this one, calling that one. If only there was a little bit of an easier way for us to create new objects without having to literally copy this whole shebang. So which moves us to constructors. This is how we can build. It's like we're turning this object into a template. Not so much like a class, which is a like a wider template. Sort of like a template. You can like now make more objects with this constructor than you could before. Okay. Sometimes we need to create many of these objects. So then this is what the constructor can help us like do. So we can do something like function. So because it's a constructor, usually as you've seen before, we name our functions like we start with like small letters, just like with variables. But because this is a special function, we're giving it that specialness. We're going to start its name with a capital letter. So it's going to be robot. I just want to change this to robot 1. Robot. Okay. I want to remember we did we had parameters yesterday, and we talked about how they're just placeholders for what we need for people to send us so that a function can do what it needs to do. So here, this color and this action, they keep changing. So how about we ask people to give us color and an action. Right. Okay, we're gonna copy this body. So my color must be equal to this color that we got. My action must be equal to this color. Let's see. Oh, okay, sorry. Table. I'm just trying to figure out, why are you being weird? Why are you highlighting yourself? Expected. Action, 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 action. Karabo, is it this from before? I see somebody
Yes,
raised.
ma'am.
Yeah.
Remember when you are trying to create an like the king object, it must not have this. You're going to just have a function name. This must not be there.
Uh-huh. I don't think
So
that's the issue. Okay,
see,
let's try it. I don't think
see
that's
that. No,
I don't think that's the issue. There's something I'm missing here.
Garabo, I'm banning you for 5 minutes. Let's have some blood.
okay.
Senzo. Mm,
Hi,
Senzo.
Senzo.
Wait, let me allow him to talk first. I can't find him. Oh yeah. Yeah, we can talk now.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, so instead of using colon between this action, what, you must use equals to.
Ah, yes. Why must I use equals to?
To assign that action to the function.
Yes. So we have properties, and we're building out the properties of this robot. So when we were creating a object, because now we're creating a constructor for objects, like a manufacturing plant. So here, you see, we were using the object notation. Key, it's a key value pair. Pair two things. It's a key, it's a value. It's a key, it's a value. It's a key, it's a value. But in the constructor, I am assigning. So I'm assigning. I'm taking the color from outside. I'm taking the action from outside. I'm putting it inside myself. And then I'm taking this function, I'm putting it inside my do action property. Thank you so much, Senzo. Do you want to help us run this? How can we run it? Who wants to help us run this function? Someone
There
is
there are
saying,
no hands currently.
okay.
So Ronald, nope. You're banned for 5 minutes.
Can you hear me?
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you
Who's
can say,
okay.
am I audible?
Yeah.
Okay, you can say const,
Okay.
and then maybe robot 3.
Robot 4. Okay.
Robot 3.
We'll say 4 because we have robot 3.
Okay. Okay. And then you say new robot.
New robot. Yes.
And then you put like inside the parentheses.
Uh-huh.
You put like maybe the actions like uh blue for jump.
All right, we'll try it. Let's say jump. Let's say blue. And then we'll say okay. Huh?
Below that line you say console.log.
So long. Yeah.
Then you say robot 4
Yeah.
dot do action.
Parentheses, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And then
And then the semicolon.
semicolon. Semicolon.
Then you can test it.
Okay. Let's test it out. Robot. Oh, sorry, that's my bad. That's me, because I changed it to robot 1, remember? Uh, There we go. Success. Right? So remember we tried, thank you so much for your help. Remember we tried earlier when we were doing Zintle and Mandla, we tried to just say Zintle equals person. We were trying to make a copy, but then we just realized it's just Mandla all the way down. It's like a Russian doll. It's Mandla's inside Zintle and it's Mandla all the way down. And then, so now we figured out, okay, so we need a constructor to be able, we need a factory to be able to create new objects. And then when we create a new object, we say new robot. Please create a new robot for me. Okay. All right. Let's have one last one. Let's have another one. Create a constructor for book objects. Somebody pull through. Create a constructor for book objects.
Okay, Karabo and Ronald, you are unbanned. Okay, Karabo can go.
Yeah. So you're going to do the same as the robot function. Function, which is the function has to be a book with
Okay.
capital letter B.
Okay.
Book.
Yes.
And inside, oh, you need the parentheses.
What? Yeah.
So we are going to have the book name.
Where? Oh, inside the
Oh,
parentheses.
yeah, the perimeters.
Name. Okay.
Or going to have the author.
Huh?
We're going to have published or published date. Yeah, published date maybe.
I'm gonna change this to title,
Okay.
and then
Published date.
published date. Yes. Let's say publish, because that double D, we might miss it.
Okay, man.
Publish date. All right.
Yeah.
Do you have any?
Nah.
Okay.
Doesn't, yeah, the book doesn't have an action. So yeah. Um, so yeah, so the Kelly braces. Yes.
Yeah.
So this title
Title.
is going to be equals to the title
Is it gonna be a colon or an equal?
and equals to me.
Or equal, all right.
So the title.
Give me a book title.
No man, you need to give it a title, the parameter there.
Of course.
So yeah, then this author
This author.
has to be equals to the parameter author there.
The parameter author there. It even changes color. Do you guys notice? It's not being used. Author is declared. Can you see the pop-up message?
Yes, man.
Okay. Author is declared, but its value is never read. So it wasn't in use. So it also tells us, okay, now we've used it and it changes. All right.
Okay.
Next.
And published date.
Okay, this.
Published date is equals to published date.
Go to publish date.
Yeah, and you can even include like book type, a novel, a yeah.
Create a function for us. This maybe something to what, let's say we want to get the title. A function that can give us the title.
Okay, so this so it's gonna be this dot get title,
Yes.
then it's gonna be equals to
Yeah.
a function. So it's gonna be function, okay.
Yeah.
Open brackets,
Yes.
okay, then curly braces,
Curly braces. Yeah.
okay, then return this type, this what? You said what, ma'am? You said
Return the title.
okay.
because it's get title, right?
Okay.
So can I do this? What would you advise?
No, you must return this title.
All right. All right.
Yeah, that's good.
So how do we, okay. I saw Nelson had his hand up. Nelson, can you pull through and help us work with our new factory?
Can you hear me?
Clear, loud and clear?
How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good. You said I can do what? You want to
Uh,
display the book?
can you work? Just created a new factory that creates books. Can you use it for us?
I can't hear you clearly.
Can you hear me now?
You are
Since you can,
breaking.
oh,
I think it's my network.
I think
You are
it's
oh,
you,
breaking.
Nelson. Um, but
okay.
while you fix, we'll give you another chance. Let's go with
Yeah,
Yan
this,
Diwa and then Vincent. And then Rosie, when you're
yes,
done with this function, there are
yes.
two questions that I'd like you to answer on the
Okay,
Q&A.
cool.
Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Okay. To take it from where our brother left it, Gary, it has to display the title of the book, right? Um, we can use a string syntax, maybe say the the title of the book is.
So okay, so I must just type the title of the book is
Put it inside. No. Oh, okay. You want to call out the function now.
so we've created a factory that makes makes book objects. That's what the constructor is, remember? So we've just
Yes.
created a factory. So now we want to use the factory and we want to utilize its properties of the objects that we create. So make a book, use its properties.
Oh, okay. We're gonna say const.
Okay.
Then you say book, maybe book one
Okay.
is equals to a new book.
New book. Yes.
Yes. Then we open brackets to. Then we put parameters. It can be a title, which is for title, author, and publish date.
Oh, okay. What is it?
The title, it can be uh, just any title, any title.
Yes, you give me any title.
Okay, my life, yeah, my life.
My life. Okay. My
Yeah,
life.
and author, under author, we say Monji Koza.
Morning.
Yeah, and under the published dates, under the published dates, just a question: should we maybe use the today, like maybe today's date, or we just hard code it?
We can hard code it for now. We will dive into dates and such things next week.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, I can just hard code today's date, maybe which is which is 26 on June, yeah, 2025.
All right.
Yeah, and okay,
Yeah.
so okay, yeah, then we terminate the at the end.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, then okay, so what we want with this constructor, do we okay? we want to get the title of the book, right?
Uh-huh.
So we're gonna say, yeah, we're gonna do it's the same as the previous one. So we're gonna say console.log.
Yeah.
Okay, console.log dot book, yeah, book one dot get title. We put brackets there and terminate. Yeah. Yeah. I think it will do
Yeah.
what I think it will do now what we want it to perform. I'm not sure if I'm missing anything.
Must we test it?
Yes, please, man.
My life, right there in black and white.
Yeah, we can spice it up then if we want, yeah, with anything, maybe display, yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Vincent, right?
Oh, Mondli. Oh, Yandis.
Mondi.
Yeah.
Andis. Okay. Thank you so much. Good.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
May I take questions? Yes, is it?
Okay, there are a couple of hands raised. I don't know if they wanted to contribute, ask questions, but on the, can you please scroll up? The first question is from Entity FX. Can you scroll up on the code? He says
Okay.
in line 34, aren't we supposed to input the color red in empty parentheses?
In the empty parentheses. Okay, so look at the function definition. The function definition doesn't ask for the color red. If you can change the function to do that. Remember, I forgot the gentleman's name, but he was trying to make it more dynamic, where a certain color, if you have a color, then it does this. He tried to do it with the arrays. Yes, you can, but it's not so much you're talking about a logical vibe. Yes, it can be done if your logic is that way. You just have to rearrange a few things. But this is the function definition, and it doesn't have parameters. So when we call it, we cannot provide it parameters because it doesn't need parameters. Next question, please.
We have Masawenko C. Can we use switch statements inside of the do action to determine which color and action it is?
Of course we can. Of course we can. So because of our class today, we've already covered that. So what we're doing is I want to show you what you can do with now this tech. But that's more a logical issue. Like, remember the guys at the beginning, they were trying to do something like that. You can add that. You can make your functions as amazing as possible. You definitely can add it somewhere here to determine the color, yes, and you can even add a timer so that every 20 minutes, every 20 seconds, it changes, and then it's 5 seconds for the orange. Yeah, you can, as I think, as Yandisa was about to say, like you can flesh it out, you can make it more interesting. You can definitely do that. You can make your functions as complex as you want. Yeah. Next question, please.
To add on that, don't
Yes.
just switch statements for the sake of using them. It depends with the problem that you're trying to solve.
Yeah.
Okay, Clementine is asking, so on line 55, line 52 and 53, if we use this dot to do action inside console log instead of robot3 dot do action, will it still work?
I
Let me,
don't understand. Yes, please, Susie.
if I use this dot do action inside console log,
Yeah. Oh, this. Okay. So here, so if we're saying this, right, out here, see, there's no, it's going to be referring to this that refers to this console log. So if we do this in here, because log is a function, so console, the this is going to be referring to the console. So console itself doesn't have a property called do action. So it will return undefined. Let me show you. Console.log. This dot do action.
Robot, maybe say robot. What? Oh yeah,
I think
okay.
they wanted it. Yeah, okay. So let's run and see what we get. Do action is not a function. Like it doesn't recognize who's the person who has do action. Because if we do this is talking about this guy. So, and this guy doesn't have that. So it's like, we don't know who has this for you. We don't know who has this for you. So because this is a function, it's going to refer to this one. This guy doesn't have a do action. That's why we get him this drama. Okay. And I'm going to say here, so you know. All right. Next question, please.
Uh, Matome raised his or her hand.
Hi. Hello.
Hi. Hello.
Oh, so I wanted to ask on like line number 81.
Line number 81. Yes.
Can you try to remove the const and add like book?
Remove this const
Yeah, and add book.
and say book.
Yeah, book one. As in like the book, the function name, yes.
Okay. Doesn't unexpected keyword and identify. It doesn't do it like that.
Okay.
Yes, it's the syntax of the language, how you write it for this language. But in Java, it's like this, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So we
Okay, thanks.
constant. You can even let it, right? Yeah, you can even use let undo. Let's stick to constant.
Okay. You
Next
done? We have
question.
okay, how many questions do you want to take?
How many are there?
I have Bule and then I have Joseph on the Q&A and then I have one more hand. So I have two
Okay.
hands and one Q&A.
Okay, let's do them and then let's move on to the next section.
Okay, Bule.
Hello, am I audible?
You are
Yes.
audible, Bule.
What's the best way to identify the return type of a function?
To identify the return type of a function.
Yes. Because the reason why I'm asking this is because every time we declare a function, there's no, like for instance in Java you specify that
Yes.
this function is gonna return maybe a string array is gonna return. So whenever you coding, you already know that I'm expecting to return an array of a string at the end. So that's why I'm asking, how do you identify the return type in this case in JavaScript?
Before I answer you, before you
Okay.
answer, actually,
Yes.
What is the purpose of returning the return? What is the purpose of that?
The purpose of returning something, of returning.
No, what do you want to do with that information of, okay, let's say it returns an int. What do you
Yes.
want to do with that information?
It could be maybe you wanna proceed to continue with other operations after you got maybe a response, or either you wanna display it from a different method.
Okay.
Wait, are you saying you want to know the data type of of what is returned? Is that what you're asking?
Um,
Yes, I think that's
okay, let me make an example maybe uh to make so that you can understand it better. How am I viewing it? Okay, let's assume we have this function called book, and then inside the book there's an array inside, and then we have all these other three parameters, which is title, author, and publish date, and another array inside, and then we're supposed to deal with the information of the other variables, and then at the end we return an array. So based off the parameters, I wouldn't tell whether I'm supposed to return just the the variables, or return an array at the end. I don't know if it makes sense.
You are, I think you're overcomplicating the whole thing. You guys need to remember that when you're working with different types of languages, the rules
Yes,
change from language to language.
yes,
So the nice thing about JavaScript is in some instances it's not really that strict on other things.
yes,
So if you want to check the data type of something, a variable or something, there has to be a reason why, or you are debugging, right?
okay,
And in types, if you're working with TypeScript, those things you would have to create what is this? Is it an interface or a type? You have to create an interface for that, and that will be handled for you. So you know, before you start writing code, what data types you're working with for each variable or each type, right? But
yeah,
as Lozi has written on line 88, if you want to know a data type of something, you just simply type of and then whatever it is that you want to know. So yeah, don't you're overcomplicating it. Yeah, that's what I just think. But okay, I hope you answered.
yes.
Okay, Joseph says, just to confirm, in the book function we made, all I would have to do is make functions for the author and publish date named, hmm? And publish date named get author and get publish date to get them. Oh, okay. Let's do it again. Just to confirm, in the book function we made. No, Joseph, can you enable your mic and ask that question again?
So sorry for the confusion. Can you hear me?
yes.
Yeah, essentially what's happening right now, I just want to double check that for us to do, we're getting to get the author and get the publish date. We'll just have to create functions for them like is being created right now. That's essentially what I was asking, just to double check that that's all.
Just that's for you.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's considering the fact that this is what's happening right now, would assume that yes.
Yes.
Okay, awesome.
Milani,
Hi, can you hear me?
We
yes.
can hear you.
I wanted to ask, what's the purpose of that this keyword inside your function in your book, constructor?
Okay. To touch back again on the this keyword, it refers, so in the constructor, because it's a factory, right? the object that you will create when you create the function, its property, it's saying my title must, I need to, we're sending the title, right, when we create the book. We send the title, we send the author, we send the publish date. So I want this title to become my title. So this is basically what I'm saying. This, me, this new object that's going to be created, my title dot title, my property of title must be the title that I've been given. My property of author must be the author that I'm given. I'm assigning it to me. My property of published date must be the published date that we receive. You, this, like we take it, I think they took it from other programming languages. So other programming languages call it this. Whoever started with this, I don't know, maybe they could have just said my, but that also might be a little bit confusing. But that's what it's saying. It's like I'm pointing at me and I'm talking about my title, and I'm assigning this new title to me. Yeah. This is a bit of a complex one, but as long as you grab the syntax and we do it, as time goes on, just like how we saw that another brother was asking us how to do this, do action, it's about the scope. And we talked about how if you're using an arrow function, it does not refer to the this of that object. It refers out to one more above, to like a bigger function that's above it. So it's one of those things where by using it many times, you'll start to have an intuitive feeling of it, but it refers to the thing being created. And if it's an arrow function, then it will refer to something above it. And here it was referring to the global scope. It's you. I don't know if I'm answering because I feel like I'm making it a little bit more complex. Did I answer your
Okay.
question?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do understand what this is. But my question is that inside your function, inside get title, what is the purpose of this there? Because if you do remove this, you also get the title.
You mean you want to print like
No, if there in line 77, if you remove this and just put title there,
wait, give me the line number?
line 77,
Oh, you're saying I must remove this?
yes.
Yes, it's the same, but I want to print out because we're going to be using this one to populate ours. So so things don't get confusing. Remember, inside somewhere here, inside our factory, we might take that title. Yes, we might take this title there that we get, and we might manipulate it somehow before it gets printed out by get title. So let's say somebody, it has capital letters in the wrong place, or it has a number. We might create a function that cleans the title. So now the title that you want is the title that we as the object are going to be using. And it's going to be that cleaned up title. I'm just making an example that you might alter the information. So we can't print this title because this title is this title. That's the raw title we got from the user. Why we print our title is because we might have done something to the raw materials that we received from the user. So now our title might be a little bit better spaced, some capital letters somewhere, some lower letters somewhere. But absolutely, you can syntactically, you can do it. But logically, I wouldn't advise it because somewhere in your objects, at some point, at some time, you might alter the thing that you receive just to make it a little bit more user friendly for you as a developer and for the user, the end user. Did I answer your question?
Thank you so much. Now,
all right. Next, please.
Okay, in the Q&A, they're answering each other.
Okay, that's lovely.
Joseph has his hand raised. No, wait. I don't know what's first between Joseph and entity. No, actually it's Senzo. Senzo had his hand raised first.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I wanted to answer Ule. Okay, so he was asking like, how do you know the return type of a variable, right? So, according to my understanding, is that with Java, you already know by the data type that you use. But here on JavaScript, what I noticed is that you know the return type by the value that you assign to that variable.
All right. Thank you for that.
So meaning if you say const and then title, the value that you assign to that title is the one that determines which return type it is.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's my understanding. I don't know if it's right or what.
Thank you for that. Yes, it's correct as well. You can also do that.
And then okay, you can speak.
No, I wanted to move to the next guy. You can continue.
Okay, and then for Milani, she was asking about this dot title, right?
Yes.
So
Yes, yes.
according to my understanding is that this dot title, it represents a new variable that we use to store the values or to assign the title value to that new variable. So for example, to make it clearer, you would say title1 is equal to title, right? So meaning that that title that is in the parameters is the one that is manipulated or is changed. The value changes over and over. So after that value is changed, then it is assigned or stored into this dot title, meaning the new variable.
All right. Awesome.
Zenzo, Musa says now.
Yes, sir.
Musa says now you can still declare a number as a string type.
Yeah, a string, we know that you use a bargain quotation marks, and then we know that it's a string. But if you don't include any quotation mark, you just put one, then we know that it's an integer.
Okay. Let's move on to our next session. Do we have one more question or hand?
There are 5 more hands, so I don't know what you want to do.
Is it questions, guys, or?
Yeah, for me, it's a question.
Okay. All right.
I was wondering if on line 73, where you have mentioned the title and author publisher, wouldn't it be possible if you actually write the title, the author, and the publishing date? Would it work though? That's what I wanted to know.
So you mean like this?
Maybe you say Lion King as the title of the book, and then find the author and publisher.
You mean like this?
Yes. So I'm asking, would it work though?
All right. I did something here. Let me just fix this. What did I do here? Oh, get title. Again. As you can see, it's quite possible. You don't have to take input from the user, but don't you think this makes it so much easier? Let's say, wouldn't you want to do this instead? Let's go back first. Uh, you see, so that you can reuse it, because that's the reason. That's the reason you want to create a whole factory. You want to create a factory so that you can create different books with different titles, with different authors, with different, so that, because if it's hard coded here, then
Yes.
all of your books will be The Lion King.
Oh, okay. Now I understand. Okay, thanks.
All right, thank you. Next questions for now, please. And then if you have any advice, let's put it down in the chat. So if you have a question, keep your hand up. If you have suggestions, please put it in the chat. Put your hand down if you have suggestions. Next question, please.
Dlozi.
Yebo.
Chris here. Ish, I had a suggestion. How about we minimize the code? You see, from line 76 to line 83. How about we minimize the code instead of saying get this, instead of saying this dot get title this, get author this, get published date, we be like this dot get titles equals to function open circular bracket close circular bracket open curly bracket and then return and then return dollar open curly bracket this dot title, yeah, so on.
Yes, that's a great suggestion. If you want to do it like that, you certainly can. Thank you so much. Next question, please.
Morning.
Morning.
Yes, I just wanted to ask that on line 73, on the title, the author, and the published date, like, what is the reason exactly that we do not declare it as a new variable? Maybe let's say let title be equals to title. Does it automatically take the structure of the title that was inputted in the parameters and form a new variable?
So, okay, so we want to take the title that we get and we want it to be part of the object. So the title must be part of the object. So it must be a property of the object. Whereas if it's just let, it's just an object in memory. It doesn't so much refer here. It's just an object in memory. If we were to call it, we wouldn't be able to get to it because it's not a property of this object. It was in the constructor, maybe to do something. There was a certain function you needed to create something else. But now you want the title of the object. So you're putting it inside the object. Now it's my title, my property called title. And in that property inside me, I am putting in the title you gave me. Does that make sense?
Okay, yes, it makes sense.
Okay. Next question.
I think we're good. It's 10:30.
right.
Do you want to take a 5-minute break or you want to keep going?
I want to just do this last part and then we will take a break. It's gonna be quick, you guys, I promise.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. So I want us to take us back to, remember we created this object. So we created this, and this is like simple, straight up, so nice to easy to read, as you guys can see. So you don't, if you're gonna make many, remember we had that question with the guy who was like, don't you want to make it Lion King? If you want to make many objects, create a factory so that you can make many objects. So think of this constructor as a factory for creating more objects. But one of the things that you can do when you're just doing just one like this, let's say like this, you can add new properties quite easily. Like, so I called it person up there. So I can say person dot, what do I want to add? Location, address. Address equals 23 Hala Street. All right. And I can see if it will allow us to do that. Okay, so now on the fly, we've realized, eyeball, the person object is a little sparse. It's a little thin. It needs a little bit more data. So we can add to it. We can to object literals with ease as below. And just come up with a new property. Remember here, it didn't have address. So we can just amend it. And then we print it out and it shows us right here. We got it. Now, that's awesome and great. But now we've realized we are factory building people. We want to create factories. Okay, so now we gotta try and let's see, book one. Book one dot, what can we add in the book? Pages, number of pages, right? And then we say 432 pages. Okay, now I want to console that. Okay, it wasn't supposed to do that, but it did it. So what are you going to say? What can you say about that? Let's try a function. Let's see if it also does it with a function. Book dot change title. Set title. Set title. Function. My title. I'm going to have to send myself a title. I can say title. Let's see what we get here. Book. Ooh, set title. I'll do this. Then we say just to keep with the Disney theme. Let's see what this guy does. And then let's print out. Let's console log. Hit title. Is a function. So we have to do that. Let's see what we get. Guys, you can just do it. You can just add it on the fly, right then and there. You can just on the fly there and there. So now you have a new property. You have a new property that you've added on the fly because now you realize I want to be able to change the thingamajig. Okay, so I want to show you, so we did all of this. I just want us to put it on HTML. Like, let's see like the title, yo. Okay. So first let's check if this, okay, method. Vat. I want to quickly add here. H1. Okay. Let's see how that looks. Hey, mama. Everything is just right here. Where can I put this? Okay, I'm not clearly connected to that. Let's go back. But I don't want to open it with you because you don't like to work with other files. But it's not a problem. It's fine. I want to create a paragraph. This is gonna just be my container where I put stuff in. We'll call it demo. All right. No. Document. Get element by ID. Demo. Demos. That's inner HTML. And then we're gonna see. Let's see what we got. Okay, we get the Little Mermaid. Rot. Inner HTMLs. Okay. Okay. And then we'll do some exporting, and then afterwards, we're just gonna quickly push. Going to git add. I want to clear everything first. Add Alice. As you look here, 5. I've done a lot of changes, done a lot of things. I am currently on the main branch. I'm currently on the main branch. So I'm gonna add everything. I'm gonna stage everything so that I can get ready to put everything on the stage before I take my picture. I'm gonna commit. I done did a lot. Troll. Changed the name of app.js to variables and added a new file, conditionals. What does it say? I wrote triple M. Should have been 2 M's. Commit. All right. As you can see, I just took a picture of everyone that was on the stage, all the changes that were on the stage. You can see I've got some little arrows here. 0, there's nothing that needs to come down. But now, since I have this snapshot and it has a caption, I want to send it to our album in the sky. It's even telling me you got some stuff you gotta send up. Beam it up to Scotty. Beam me up, Scotty. Success. All right. Let's take it's like 22. We need like at least 15 minutes. Do you think we should come back at 11, Caesar? Is that too long?
We can come back at 10:51.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Well, actually, how much do you still have to cover?
I think I just have 1 hour. I want to talk about classes and how them being a template, how we can use them. Just it won't go over an hour. And then I want to show them an example. So if at 11 we have 1 more hour to 12, yeah, let's come back at 51 because I also want them to do something when we're doing it.
Okay. 10:51, guys. You heard it.
All right. 10-minute break, guys.
Okay, just by a show of hands, who's back? Wave your hands like you just don't care. Okay. Josie, I think we are good to go.
All right, just 1 minute. Sorry. Okay, welcome back to our second session. All right. I want you guys to take a look at this. Okay. So remember we had this so that we could have this. So if we run it here on the terminal, we're going to have an issue because document isn't defined anyway. So you get a reference entry. Document is not defined. But when you're running it connected to an HTML document, the browser knows everybody is in cahoots. Everybody's aware, oh, document, you're talking about the HTML that's connected, no problem. So it gets it. So when you run it on your terminal, you'll just have to comment it out so that it doesn't give you the error. So now we get a different error. So this went well. Remember we created a new book, and we created the book 1, and then on the fly, we added a new method to be able to change the title. Awesome. And it worked out well for us. We changed it from, I think it was My Life. We changed it to The Little Mermaid. And now when you run it, you get the title. So now, when we're doing the same on book 2 set title, it's giving us a function, it's giving us an error. It says type error. Book set title isn't a function in book 2. That's because what we did was we changed the actual object itself. We added to it. We didn't change the factory where the objects come from. So the factory doesn't have a set title. So you can't use it on book 2 because only book 1 has that type of thing. So now you have to go deep, a little deep. So what we can do is, so what you have to do is you have to add it to the book itself. So I'm going to leave this here. It's going to give us an error. Let's just do this. We'll uncomment it. We'll probably use it later. So you have to say book. That's the factory. The factory needs to add a new function. So you say the factory, which is book, we say prototype. Prototype. Then you say set title. And then you can say, we can even just copy it here, what they have over here, because we want the exact same thing. Okay. So now that we have done the prototype, we should be able to use set title for book 2 now and not get an error. Let's see if we get an error. There's no error. Okay, so book two is supposed to be Hercules. Let's see if it is Hercules. Changes to Hercules. So you can change the properties, you can amend the properties of an existing object, but that doesn't change the factory. Because it's like you buy a car, you take it home, you put, I don't know, whatever makes cars go for power, you put that on your car. So now your car isn't like other cars. So people go to the factory like, I want a car that goes for power as well. They're like, no, we don't sell Vropars here. You have to make it, you can make it Vropar yourself. So now people are like, okay, then the factory realizes, okay, we could make more money by just putting the guys, I really don't know what makes a car go Vropar, okay? So just work with me. So we're gonna put this thing in the cars. So now everyone can have a car straight from the manufacturer that goes through power. If you know what makes a car go through power, please tell us so we can just all be in the know. All right, okay. Let's talk about classes. My class. I'm a classy. So, okay, so some of you might know, JavaScript is actually like a nickname. So the real name for JavaScript is actually ECMAScript. So we refer to it as ES. So it has the versions ES1, ES2, ECMAScript 1, ECMAScript 2. So in 2015, we had a new release. We had version 6. We called it ES6, ECMAScript 6, introducing JavaScript classes. JavaScript classes are templates for JavaScript objects. They're not really that far from this constructor. They're just slightly different in the way that they do. But this is also like a template, sort of, but the class is the template. This is like the factory. So these are the classes like the blueprint. The blueprint, and then this is like the factory that builds the things. All right. So a template has a factory, and it is a blueprint, whereas this one is just a factory just created for us. So it's just a matter of syntax. You can achieve the same thing as you'll see with either or. And then I'll show you how it's nicer to create classes and have them in their own file, and then you can refer to it back and forth. Okay, let's do the syntax of a class. So class, become a class. The same with the same with constructor. We're gonna start with a capital. So we start with car, with a capital letter. And just like that. So we do have a constructor. Then we're gonna say name. Yeah. This name equals name. This here. Okay. Just gonna do a little const. console it. Mazda. Pretty straightforward. You can also add some more like functionality. I want to know the age of the car. So as you can see here, it's not going inside the constructor. We're putting it right in the template itself. Usually we do it right in here in the constructor, in the function constructor. But with this one, we just put it right here, and then okay. So I want to calculate the age. I have the year. I want to calculate the age. Can someone pull through and help me calculate the age? If you know how to work with dates, come through. Obviously, I'll help you if you get stuck, but come through. How can we get the age of the car? Caesar, please pick one first.
Vincent Vincenzo. Let me allow him to talk. Vincent.
Yes. Yeah, morning, everyone.
Morning, Vince.
Many universities so to calculate
There's a sound
age,
at the
we'll
back.
have to,
Can
I
someone
don't
switch
know,
off the
should
sound at
we
the
hard
back?
code it or
It's Vincent. There's a background noise.
Can you switch off that,
Hello?
Vincent?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes,
Am I
you
clear?
can. You're very clear. You can hard code it, or you can use the date, class. Let's
Yeah,
just
so if we are
calculate
hard
the
coding,
age.
yeah, if we are hard coding it, we can say we can return the current year minus the year that we receive as a construct. I mean, in the
Return
parameter.
what?
Return the current year minus 2000. We can say 2025 minus this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Am I doing it correctly?
Yes, you can. I don't know this thing.
Huh?
You can maybe you can put that calculation within the parentheses so that it can be more clear.
Oh, okay. Tell me where. Give me the line number.
Line 136. Yeah,
Yeah.
that calculation, you put it within the parentheses.
What type of parentheses?
The bracket.
Curly, circle, square.
The second one.
All right. And then what do we do?
Then you terminate.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, at the console, then you can call the age function.
All right.
Yeah.
Should we run it?
Terminate and yes.
Okay. Is that correct?
Yes, I think so, yeah.
Okay, all right. Mulanga, do you have something to add? Do you have a question?
It looks like he dropped his hand, but Tokozane, let me allow him to talk.
Okay. Questions, suggestions in the chat, please.
Good
Tokozane,
morning. Hello.
Hello, you can hear you, Tozani.
Oh, yeah. Good morning. I'm not sure if I wanted to ask because I used constant and current year as a new variable to set the year. So I said const current year equals new date open circular bracket close circular bracket dot get full year.
Oh,
Uh,
you did it programmatically.
yeah, I did it
Okay.
that way. That way I could return the value for current year minus this dot year. You understand?
Yes.
So yeah,
Yes.
and that's how I did it. That way, um, you have flexibility to enter any year you want. If, for
Yes.
instance, we write the program and we allowing for the user to enter a year that they want themselves at any given time.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Awesome. Yes. We would do that to expand it to make it even better. Yes. Great one.
Okay.
Mulanga? Mulanga, pull through.
Hi, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
I just have a quick question. Do we always have to initialize when it, I see we initialized on line 140.
Yes.
Do we have to initialize for our function as well? So where we were doing the book information where we had the title, the author, the year, the date, do we have to
Yes.
initialize before we can call anything of that function?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
This is a template. It's like I could say it's a company that owns the drawings of how the car is going to look, and it owns the factory. It's not an actual thing that you can actually get information from. It's a abstract concept, and then we um, manifest it in reality by initializing it. We make it concrete, and then by making it concrete, it has all these properties baked into it, and then we can probe and manipulate them and play with them. But right now, this is a company that makes cars. It has blueprints, it has a factory, it has blueprints, things to do, it has a factory. It's a company, it's a template. Yeah, it's not a thing, it's not an actual car. It's only an actual car that we can ask things of. When were you made, car? What is your name, car?
Mm. Okay. Thank you
All
very
right.
much.
Okay, thank you for the question. Next, please. Are we all good?
I think we're all good.
That's good to hear. Is it a
Oh,
question, Togozani?
yes. I'm sorry. I know it might be like a little bit trivial, but I noticed you don't use semicolons to close every line, but your code still like functions without like any breaking or syntax errors.
Yeah.
How come is that? Like here on your line 140, you say const Mesner 6 equals new car, and then there's no semicolon.
Yeah. I also come from a like strictly typed semicolons on every line type of coding background. I started learning with Java. So when I started doing Python and JavaScript, I was like, oh my word, this is so nice. I don't have to worry about this because sometimes, like you could miss a semicolon and everything now has to stop. So yeah, with this, the syntax of this language is quite lax. Sometimes that comes back to bite you in the behind, but you work with it. That's why we also have TypeScript to just wrangle those things. But semicolons aren't a big deal here. Keep them, don't have them. It's gonna play nice with you.
Oh, that's okay. All right, no problem. Thank you.
All right, all right. Are we good, Caesar?
All clear from my side.
Okay, cool. Okay. So I want to see like this object, this book one. Okay, so we're seeing everything's going well in the terminal. I wanna put it on our HTML though. I wanna put it on our HTML. Let's see. Okay. So because we're now going back to HTML, we can let this. No, let's leave it under wraps. We'll just use something else. We'll just create another one. Okay, document. Remember, I just want to take you back. So I have a space here where I'm doing my things. That a space where I'm doing my things. Okay, let me create this. So now let's go back to main. So I'm gonna go document. If I'm running it in the terminal Node does not know what document I'm talking about. But this one, I'm going to be viewing it from the browser. So document, I don't need to define it nowhere. By ID, okay. The ID of that place I created that paragraph is demo. And I want to put in inner HTML. I want to see the book one. I wanted to show us. Let's see what we get. Yeah.
Welcome to VoiceOver.
No.
VoiceOver speaks descriptions of items on the screen and can be used to control the computer using only your keyboard.
Thank you, VoiceOver. Thank you so much. All right. So I've refreshed it. Do you see this is how it looks like? Not very useful, is it? You can't see it. So what we can do is we can convert it into a string so that we can be able to see it. I'm gonna put you here for now. I get why Vokana has his thing here on the side. Let's see if I can put mine on the side. Okay, no, that's definitely not how you put it on the side. Caesar, do you know how to put it on the side so I can drag this thing to the bottom?
I usually split my screen. Like you'd have to share your entire screen for that though.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm already sharing my entire screen.
If you're on mic, I don't know what the shortcut is, but you have to
Okay.
split.
No problem, no problem. I'll just keep dragging it. All right. Okay. So as you saw, it gives us a weird thing. What is that? So quickly, let's just do this. Let's say JSON dot stringify. So like the way you see how we make objects like this shebang, that's like the JavaScript object notation. Like it's like the format. It's called the JavaScript object notation. So that's what JSON stands for, JavaScript object notation. So we want to take this JavaScript object notation and turn it into a string. We are stringifying it. Stringify. book one. Let's see what we get, yo. Okay, I gotta drag you, push you. There we go. So we get this. So now we can see it. It's not very pretty, but at least now we're not getting object. Okay, cool. Okay, so now I want to, so like, look at this very busy file that does a lot of busy things, and it's all very confusing. Especially now we have a class here in the middle of everything else. So what I'm going to do is I want to I'm going to change this, rename it to objects. Okay. I'm going to call this objects. I'm going to create a new main.js. So I want to call this function. I want to be able to create cars. Let's say this, let's actually just put it on its own. Let's call it car, JavaScript. We're gonna take this. We're gonna come here. And then we're going to start creating. Okay, I wanted to show you, but I'm gonna have to show you how to do it first before I ask you guys what's missing. Okay, so in order for me to be able to use, this is a different file now. In order for me to be able to use this somewhere else, I'm gonna have to, I'm gonna have to export it. This just says that like you can cross borders, meaning you can be used in other files somewhere else. Just exactly like exporting goods from different countries. I'm exporting, so this JS file is its own country, this is its own country, this is its own country. So I'm exporting you. I'm selling you to the world. Now the world can use you. So is our main is where we pull all the things together. So now we import you. We import car. And can you see, let me see if I can move this. Let me close this. Can you see it's already suggesting to us? Let me just enter. Okay, it doesn't want to enter. It's saying import car from car slash. So this, I like to, okay, let me just show you that it's going to give us an error and then I'll show you what's missing. All right, so we're going to do const, we're going to do const new car, my new car equals new car and name odd. It's a Ford Mustang, so like the 1971 versus 1974, but like the 70s version. Okay, a route. And then let's do document dot get element by ID. Let's hold up. Let's go to, I want to create a different space. A new paragraph. It can be a paragraph, it can be a div, it can be a span. I'm gonna call it car space. Showroom. A garage. I'm gonna garage. Garage. Okay. I want you to go grab that place for me, and then do an inner HTML equals my new car age. Okay, let's see if this works out. Okay. There's a lot that's gonna go wrong here, but we'll solve it together. Okay, nothing is showing, so Jay, there's that drama. Let's look at the elements. Okay, we have a major error. You can see it coming from a mile away. It's telling you, console, you've got issues. Syntax error, expected diding, didn't get it, which is crazy because I need that diding. So now the problem is, it's not playing nicely with imported modules. Let's come here. So what we do here is say type in the script, where we call the script, we say type equals module. All right. Okay, let's go back. Does it want to play nicely now? And then we refresh. We have whole new errors for days. Okay, it's telling about cores, it's telling about access control. You are using this file and you're talking to other files. You are exposing us. This, we will not allow you to print or show anything. You are just being blocked. Every corner of the world is blocking you. Okay, no problem. Remise. It's fine. We'll solve you. What we do is, remember, I asked you guys to load live server. So in order just to get over those pesky little issues, we are going to go open with live server. So we're sort of going to be serving our HTML from a server, which should, okay, let's see. It's quiet, but it could have errors. Okay, it says that, okay, so we have new errors. This is great. Remember, I said errors are your best teacher. We have new errors. That's fabulous. We no longer have to we've dealt with what we had to deal with. So this buddy is saying there's no such thing as, so this is the address, this is the server address it creates for you. And then it's / obviously index.html. This buddy is like, there's no such thing as car. Of course, there's nothing such as car because it's car.js. In React, that might not matter. So, but here, very, very like strict. I have to say car.js. This car class, this is coming from car.js. Let's see if we have new errors or did we progress? Okay, let's clear this and then refresh. No errors. And we have 54. So now we can separate our work by concerns so that we don't have to have everything so cluttered. So in cars, we just have the class itself. Fabulous. So then in the main, for those Java people, so this will be our sort of like our, what is the public static void main function. This is where now we are pulling the things together and we are playing with them. So remember Vukona did some variables for us. So now, this is Vukona's file. let's say I wanna use these courses. All I need to do is go there. Okay, first, let's try this. Let's do Ismail. So I do this, I say export, right? All right, there's an issue straight up. What's the issue? Highlight declaration or statement expected. This isn't a declaration. This is an assignment. So you can't use it here. If I wanted to use it, I'd have to go here. And then I'd say export to the world, export to the gods. Be free, little variable, to fly amongst the JavaScript files. So we go to main, and then we're like, import our body is main. It even knows, it's like it puts it on a register. Once you're exporting, you're like a hot commodity. Oh, you're on all the lists. You're on the A list. Coming from variables.js. All I want to do is, I just want to alert it. Let's alert. Let's do an alert. Let's do an alert. Ismail. See how that goes. False. Uguti, why yenze alert too? Oh, because we were still coding it. So here's the alert, false. And we have our 52. All right, okay. Okay, guys. Now, what I want us to do is to really show what you can really do, some really nice things that you can do with having your own class and working on HTML and rendering objects. So let's create a button class, ne? We're gonna create a button on the HTML document. We're gonna create it using our class. Okay. I'm gonna need some help. I'm obviously gonna help you out with appending and all of that. Let's create a space so we can put our button so it doesn't have to. We're just gonna put it in demo. All right. Okay,
Lily,
guys, come through. Yes.
just one question, or maybe actually no. Can somebody in the chat or Q&A assist Karabo Shabe? Thanks. You guys, can you assist Lozi? Hands? Anyone?
Let's build a button class.
Mulanga. Wait, Mulanga, whoa. Are you assisting or asking a question?
Oh no.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. We're building a button that does what?
It's just gonna be a button. It's just gonna be a button and it has a name, it has a background.
All right.
Oh.
Let's go class. My
Class
button.
button.
Open curly brackets.
Okay, wait. Because
Wait, we can have sorry, the circle brackets first and then the curly brackets.
all right. I just want to quickly just change the name here because
All right.
there's already I don't want to use key words that are already used in just to minimize confusion. Button is already a word being used by actual HTML itself. So I want the class to talk about the button, but to have a different name. So just for confusion, we're gonna call it my button. My button. Okay, and then you said okay,
Circle brackets.
Yes.
And then we have curly brackets.
Okay. Remember JavaScript versus Java.
And then in the
We have a situation here.
sorry, I
It says
can't see. Let me just oh, let's could you just circle around that parentheses?
it says it expects a curly bracket.
Could you remove the parentheses?
Okay. Error gone.
Okay, good. Okay, can we set up a constructor?
Okay. Structure. We've got it. Does it have parameters?
Are we gonna allow the user to set his own background and name of the button, or we gonna do it ourselves?
We are going to allow him.
Okay, yeah, we can put background color.
Okay, we can say BG color. Uh-huh.
And we can say button text.
And then we can say button text. Nice.
We can have
Nice.
a board. We can
Nice
have a
name.
board. We can have a border radius.
Border radius. Okay, you're taking it. Okay. All right, let's do that. Border radius. Border rate. When I say rate, I want to avoid using the words that they are already using. So I want
Oh,
to so
okay.
that they know.
Let's say um
Or we
corner
can
radius.
say
Corner radius.
corner radius. Thank you so much. Nice naming. Corner radius, proper.
Okay. Now we can put the curly brackets. Do we need
Okay.
anything else? I think that should.
It's up to you. Do you
Okay, yeah, let's go curly brackets. I think that's enough.
okay. I think
And
so
then
too.
we can this PG color,
This dot BG
BG color,
color equals
BG color.
So this,
And then but yeah, just do that for every variable.
okay. And then yes. Oh, you also want us to do this for corner radius equals corner radius. All right. What's next?
And then yeah, is the, I, okay, let's go because there's another way I'm thinking about it, but I just want to see how this one will end up.
Show
Uh,
us. Show us.
okay. So in the BG color where we said this dot BG color equals BG color,
Yeah.
uh I wanted to put the get element by ID there where we put BG color.
Here
Yeah, there.
you say get element by ID.
Yeah, get element by ID.
Okay, we don't say document.
Oh, document, yes, sorry. Document dot get element by ID.
Okay. What's the ID?
Can we go back to our index HTML?
Okay.
Do we have a button here? We don't have a button.
You the class itself
Yeah.
must create the button from scratch.
Oh, okay. Let's go back to my button. Yeah, it's fine. We can remove the dot get element what, and we just put PG color.
Okay. You can always ask for some reinforcement from your teammates.
All
to
right.
tell- Yes. Okay. What's next?
Now we can come out of our class and initialize.
Okay. Are we missing anything? Are we done with the class?
Let me just
Okay,
see.
you'll tell me. Should I go to main and initialize?
I think that's it. Yeah. Unless I'm
Okay,
wrong, but I think that's it.
let's
Okay.
go to
And then
main. Yes, we're at
and then
main. What's next?
we can initialize.
Tell me exactly what to do. I'm the driver, you are the navigator. Pair programming.
All right, let's go const my button or button. Oh yeah, new button is fine. Equals to new my button. Parentheses. And then for the first variable we can put blue.
BG color.
And then for the second variable, which was
So
text. So we can put
sorry,
register.
Mulanga. Sorry,
Yeah.
Mulanga. Can you see the tooltip
Oh yes, I
that
can
says
see it.
that?
I can see it.
Okay, good. So guys, this is great to tell you. It can tell you this thing, it needs these variables. And you see the one that's highlighted is the one that you have to give it now. So you can just use it to keep track of, okay, these are the things I need to have. Okay, I have a background color now. So now I'm giving a button text. Okay. Yes, Mulanga?
Okay, so we can get but we can say register.
Register. Register.
And then we can have a comma and we can say maybe 3 or 10.
10?
Yeah, let's say 10.
10. Okay.
I think we need to go back to our my button class so that we can add text color.
Okay.
Let's start it in our constructor there and add I can't say text color. Yeah, let's add text color. And then can we put it in our constructor this dot text color equals text color.
Uh-huh.
And then just put a semicolon and then we go back to our main class.
All right. Yes.
And then we can add white after the 10. So comma and then
After
white.
comma.
White, but in yeah, thank you.
Like this.
Yes.
All right. What's next?
So now we can okay, more button. Okay, so now we can go documents. We can create a button that side and then come back to do new document so that we can give the button the variables that we have given it
We have to create the button here from
from the
scratch.
side.
Yes.
Anja, how do you do it? Okay, let's go document
Okay.
dot create element or create element. We can have parentheses and we say button. And then semicolon, just close it. And then let's go next line and then button.
Button.
Yes.
Okay. This button?
Yes, and then dot text content. Is it? I think it's content. Uh, dot text content.
I don't know why it keeps changing it. I can't change it back. Let's see. Okay. Dot text content
Equals
to
my new car. I mean my button. New button, sorry, new button.
new button.
And then dot. Can we go back to, I think I missed something. Can we go back to our new button so that we can set get methods?
My button.
Yes. So after the constructor, let's get method for PG color and get method for button color, button text and corner radius.
Okay, I'm gonna stop you there.
All right.
You don't need those. You
Oh, I
you
don't
don't
need
need
those.
those. Yeah. So Garabo, let's get Garabo in and see what you guys can cook together.
All right.
Garabo, come through.
Good day, ma'am.
Hey.
Helping on Mulanga, ne? So the first thing we're gonna need is the button text. Ne? So yeah, it's the button text. So those ones are the stylings. So I don't think we need this one. The only thing that we need is button text. So can you please remove BG color and what corner radius and text color, and the only thing that you'll be left with is the button text. So the button text is going to be initialized to the button text. Then the next thing that we are going to have is the this dot
So
yeah
we're gonna keep everything. Everything is fine. Build on
okay.
it. Build on top
Oh,
of it. Everything is
I
good.
must build on top of this.
Yes. If it's something else, I'll stop you like I did with Mulanga. So
Okay.
build
Okay,
on
man.
this. All
So
right.
I have the button text. So I need to create the button. I need to create the button. So
Oh, I think I got it.
okay.
Okay.
Okay, so in our constructor, where we said this dot BG color equals
Yes.
BG color, can we remove that BG color and create the element there?
Yeah, you must create an element.
So
Okay,
here.
document. Yeah, so there.
Okay.
Document
Document.
dot create element,
Create element. Okay.
and then we say parentheses and then quotation button.
Okay.
And then let me
Okay.
see.
Since we are only have 15 minutes, how about I complete it for us?
Okay, man.
All right,
All
all
right.
right.
All right. Okay. So I'm gonna go back and do this. So I'm gonna go back to main and I'm going to remove these two. I'm gonna go back to button. I'm gonna create a function that is going, so I don't always have to create element da all the time because I'm a programmer and I want things to be automatic and I want it to be dynamic. So I'm going to create a function that does that for me every time. I can just call it. Let's call it render. Then we call it render. All right. Okay. So const. The guys are right. First, let's create a thing. Let's create a button first. create element, button. Awesome. So now I want to style my button quickly while we're here. Just everything must just arrive perfectly complete for me. Text, dot, text content equals this dot button text. BG color. What is it? Background style dot background color equals this dot BG color. Okay. Button style. What do we have here? We have a BG color, we have a text color. We're just gonna say color dot color will be text color. And we have button again, style it for us. What do we have? We have border radius. Border radius. All right, border radius equals. So border radius, you need to tell it that it's px. So we only have a number. So remember, Vukona showed us how to use grave, backtick, these ones. So what we going to do is, so go say $, $, let's say dollar. Let's say dollar, we're gonna say corner radius, and then we're gonna put px. Okay. We want, because it needs to be a number px. So we only have a number. If you look at here, how we called it, you see we just gave it a number. We could do this, px, which would be even better. So let's simplify it. So in that case, all we have to do is just do it like this. Yeah, let's keep it like that. One more style. I think we covered the styles, right? It's the background color, we did the text, we did the, yes. I'm just gonna do a little bit of padding. Just style, just pad it up, padding equals, what are we gonna say? 10x for the left and right, 10px, and then top and bottom, 20px. I think it's top and bottom, left and right. Okay. Basic Martin. Oh, we have to, okay. No, we don't need a border. Okay. So now after all of that is styled, I want it to be placed in get element by ID. I want it to, underneath this JavaScript objects, I want it to come underneath it. So what I can do is I can say, firstly, I need to reference where I want it to go. Then I'm going to say root, because it's root. But remember last time when we just did in an HTML, it would overwrite it to display our new thing. So here, I don't want the title, the H1, to go away. I just want to add more content. So I append child. I want this button to be a child. I want my new button to go in here. I want it to be a child of this. This is going to be its parent. So I want to append this parent, append it with the child. I want to give it a child. So I'm going to append. And who am I appending? Button. Okay. All right. Okay. So remember, this is its own country. 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 If we want to buy my country's car around the world, we have to export it. So we export. So we go back to main. And this is pretty good. But we didn't import the car to South Africa. We've just paid for it. It can come to South Africa. The Germans have allowed it to be exported, but it's sitting in Germany. How I need to now get it to South Africa so that I can use it. So I've got to import the car. I'm importing my button so that I can use it here to drive it and to whatever. Yeah, the metaphor sort of fell apart there. Okay, so we have the button. We have the button. Now we want the button to appear, to exist. So we say new button dot render yeah, that should be it. Let's see what we get. False, false, register. And just like that, we have a button. Just like that, we have a button. Let's see if we can make another one. Come through, Mulanga.
Hi, I just wanted to ask,
Yep.
Aibo. Sorry, my question just disappeared from my mind. I wanted to, I wanted to ask if we can do this in JavaScript, then
If we
what
can
happens if we
can
can
do the same.
if we can like really play around with the styles of the elements already, then what happens to the potency of CSS?
If we can play around with the styles, like you meaning here.
Yes, yes.
So it still has its like place. Like you can classes are like, let's say you want to style. What I could have done here is I could have created a class. I could have created let's do one. Let's say here. We're gonna call it main.css. Okay, I also want to show you guys how I always start my CSS files. So it's like you want to get rid of all the margins. Sometimes they have, you might be looking at a phone or whatever device. It might have a little bit of CSS loaded just so things look a certain way. So what you want to do is you want to get rid of all the margins that might be coming with whatever device you're viewing from. People, your users might be viewing from. You want to get rid of all the padding, all the margins. And then you want to also do box sizing, border box. So what border box says is that don't just count the word here. If you look at here, let's go here. Oh, you're going to be running all the time, my friend. So this is the content, right? If you don't put border box and you say that it must be 200 width, only the content will be counted in the 200 width. So now the CSS, the styles are going to fall apart because the space between the word and the border itself isn't being counted. This whole button is the border and the padding is all part of the button and it should be counted. So this is not the default style. So you must express it implicitly. Box sizing, border box. Then you want to say HTML, comma, body, comma, hashtag. If you were a hashtag is for the ID, hashtag root. And I want to say width 100%. I want to say height, also 100%. All right. So then I'll just have a class here. And then instead of styling it, I just put a class where if I change something in my class, let's say just a class is like a blueprint for one style, and then everybody borrows from that style. So if I said background color is aqua, now I can call the style, the class. I can say that this button must use the styles in this class. So every time I can just change the class here. I can add things to it. I can say text color, text alignment, center, without having to go and recreate all the buttons and change their styles. Because they're using this one CSS, when I change the class here and they're using this class, if I change this class, all of them everywhere will now be automatically updated using this class. So it has its place. It has its place if you're wanting to update a large variety of instances where they're just pulling it straight from the CSS. But see, it will be a case by case. You might realize I need to programmatically change this dynamically, or this can be a thing that is a sweeping change. You might have different classes as well, where instead of changing the style, you might just programmatically change a class. You like, don't use this class anymore, use this class. And then the button just renders in a totally different way. They can work in hand together. So whichever one does the most efficient thing best, you will give that task to it. That was a really great question, Mulanga. Okay,
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, let's call this one, let's say red. And then we're gonna say, we can say what? Green. Then we can say log in.
I'm sorry to burst the bubble.
Yes.
Yeah, it's that time now.
It's that time now. It's that time now, guys. I've had such a great time exploring objects and classes with you. I'm going to now push the code, and then you guys can play around, make your own classes, import them. Don't forget to install live server. And yes, thank you for your amazing questions and your participation. Have a great afternoon. Thank you for pulling through. Thank you so much to Sizwe for having my back and for helping me with this session. Thank you, guys.
Wait, before you guys go, I'm sorry, can I just ask, with all this work that we've done so far, are we going to be able, are we expected to push and share our own repositories?
So next week, code type starts. So we are going to be doing a lot of work next week. So that's when we'll be giving you these tasks that you guys want.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right, no problem. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Nelson, quick question. We have another meeting we have to go through. Come through quickly.
Can you allow me to talk, Josie? I lost that. I lost
Yes,
those.
yes, I can hear you.
No. How are you?
I'm good,
If
Nelson. How are you?
if I may ask, when the code tribe starts, must we bring our own PCs or you guys have the PCs that you use?
We have everything. We are fully equipped. We have everything. You can bring your own PC for whatever reason. Maybe you have files you want to share, things you want to have on your code type PC. You can always bring your PC with you, but we have everything.
And then are we going to be selected to come, or we are just going to get an invitation, or what's going to happen?
Yes, by the end of this week, everyone will know because on Tuesday you have to be at the lab at 8 o'clock.
Okay, thank you.
All right, guys, I really have to dash. Talk to me on Slack if you need more questions. I'm gonna push now so that you can play around with this. All right. Thank you so much, guys. Goodbye.